welcome. Welcome to my latest art adventure. We're going deep in the mind of Bob Ross.
Hi, I'm Bob Ross.
There he is.
For the next 13 weeks, I'll be your host as we experience the joy of painting.
Bob Ross is here with us. We're going to turn him down just for a moment as he goes through all of his brush, all of his paints, everything else. We love Bob Ross. One of the greatest things that he says in this season 1, episode 1 opening that's called A Walk in the Woods. He says, the dream in your heart, put it on the canvas. So we share that dream. The canvas is a little different. We're using a digital canvas. Bob's goal, his vision always was, how can we make art more accessible? And I think the digital canvas even makes it more accessible. So I can take this beautiful little canvas anywhere. I can take it in the woods, and I can bring all my different paints with me. So we'll be using oil paints with Bob, painting along with Bob. Oh, by the way, I have my fuzzy microphone in honor of Bob. We'll call that little Bob right there. But I can use watercolors, I can use pens and pencils, different pencils, even, I could bring out spray paints into the woods if I wanted to. So my goal, really is to show how easy and versatile digital painting can be and how fun it can be too. So I thought, why not? Let's take a look at one of Bob's original episodes, see if we can paint along with it and just have some fun with it. So I have two things going for me. One is that Bob would always tell you that, we're not about copying. So I'm not trying to copy all of his strokes. I'm trying to show his technique. And I'm doing my own creation that's in my own heart. And the second thing I want to show you is with digital art, we don't have happy accidents. So that would look like an accident, right? Because we have the happy undo button. So there really isn't anything wrong that you can do here. So Bob's starting right now. We're going to turn him up again. Let's see what he has to say here. Putting on the liquid white already, so we're going to do the same. If you notice, I have a little bit of color to my canvas, just so I could see how the white goes on. Look at this cool thing, it's like a little roller. I can just kind of roll the paint on. And Bob's talking about the big brushes, and we have one brush, but we use different sizes. So I've got my roller as big as I can make it right here on this big canvas, and I'm putting down a nice, even, not really magic white, it's just white. So, gotta keep up with Bob. Back and forth, back and forth. Alright, we almost have it, Bob. Alright.
Up and down one time. That assures that the magic white's nice and even all the way across the canvas.
Okay.
Okay, let's
of course, he's going to do this in 28 minutes, so we have to do the same. Alright, nice and even. Got white all across the canvas. Beating my brush.
Now let's take a little bit of.
Alright, he's going to move right into the painting. We're going to switch to our fine blender brush.
So let's start right here with a little bit of.
So he's going in right away with some yellow. Just a little touch of green.
Add a little bit more of the green color.
So let's see what our opacity is. Just make that a little lighter.
Just like
and
so.
Let's start painting with Bob. We're painting with Bob.
Just work that around.
Our first interruption. It's all good.
Now, without cleaning
we're live, baby. Woo!
Just add it right
we are live.
Just go out here, and we're making little crisscross strokes,
Here
little
we go.
X strokes.
We get the green in now. Painting along with Bob. This is awesome.
Already, we begin to have
Get
a
our
light
Prussian
source
blue
in this
in
painting.
there. The blue's a tough color. I'm not exactly sure what color he's using here. We're going to bring it in. Oh, a little too dark there. Undo that. to beat
now,
my
with
brush
a nice
yet.
clean brush, I'm going to take and add just a little bit of titanium white right here in the center.
Alright.
Just a little. And we'll begin working outward.
Put a little more of that green in there.
By now, maybe you have recognized.
And now we're going to blend it out. This
using
is an important part for Bob right here. This is where he talks about Bill Alexander. And a lot of people give him grief for, you know, stealing Bill, and he didn't. He gives him credit all the time in this episode and again in a future episode. So I'm using a blender brush right now. And so I'm going to blend it all out.
And we'll just blend this out a little bit.
And when I use the blender brush, whatever color I come from, it goes out to.
Till we have a nice smooth sky.
He lined it up a little more than I am. I'm going to keep it a little bit yellow. That's what's in my heart, Bob.
Okay, we'll clean the brush
Where are
one
you
more
going?
time.
There we go. Okay. Oh.
Now, let's start putting in some, put in some almighty trees here. We're going to start with a little bit of alizarin crimson and a touch of Prussian blue. Now, the Prussian blue is 100 times stronger than the crimson. So use just a little blue and a lot of crimson.
All right, we're just going to pick a color.
Here we're going to begin pushing in basic tree shapes. So just bend the brush. Bend the brush.
So we're going to switch brushes. We're going to change to our old oil brush. Let's see if we can find a nice color like Bob's doing here.
Just have to push them out.
Somewhere in there. Let's see where our opacity is.
This is your world, your creation.
Let's make a nice big tree.
Just put a little one right here.
We gotta go bigger. Ooh, he's getting ahead of me.
And
Nice
maybe
big
we'll just
tree.
put some little grass
I'll
here.
catch up when he has to clean his
here.
brush.
And right there. There's one. Now you're pushing quite firm here.
Right there.
This is why I say you need an almighty easel when you're doing this. An easel that's strong.
I'm pushing really firm, Bob.
Okay. Maybe over here on this side now, we'll add
Let's
another
get a big one over here, like he has. Yeah.
There he is.
Crank it now. My old rascal.
And there's no secret to this. Anybody can paint. Anybody can paint. All you need
It's
is
wonderful watching his
dream in your heart,
progression.
a little
He
practice.
just can crush the palette knife later in these shows.
Look at there.
A little
Already we
lighter
have the
in
beginning of a
opacity
beautiful
here.
picture. We have
He
the
kind of
tree
had a
shapes,
lighter one here.
a light source. Looks to me like it's early in the morning.
Is this interesting? Let me know, because I'm having a great time. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let's put some trunks in these trees. And for that, we'll take a little bit of Van Dyke brown.
It's got a lot of this color here.
And let's
A lot
just
of
lay
this
in some
color.
basic trunks here. There we go.
Okay, he's got his palette knife out.
And maybe we'll put
Let's
a little
get
layer
our
out here.
loaded palette knife.
Like so.
Where are you? There you are.
Maybe some little something right there.
Okay, let's get a nice brown.
There we are.
And let's be really small. Really small.
And this
Really
little fellow
small.
over here, he needs a trunk too. So we'll put one right in here.
I'm trying to use what he uses, so we'll stick with the palette knife. I don't know that I would use that personally.
Right through here. There we go. Just some indications here.
Trunk
Some
there.
little sticks and twigs.
A little bit of a trunk here, Bob.
Maybe over in here. There we are.
Let's see, there's a big old tree right here.
Okay. Now we'll highlight these. And we'll take a little bit of white and a touch of
Yeah,
brown.
that got a little
Mix
big, so
together.
we'll hit the undo button.
And remember where your light source is. So this tree will highlight right here.
We are live.
So
We are definitely live. Let's do this.
there we are. Now
He
over
wasn't
on this
happy with
side,
me on that one.
the light's coming through here, so we'll
But it didn't go
highlight
anywhere, so
this
nothing to
side.
be afraid of. Alright, let's get our highlights going.
Okay, maybe a few little
He's got
indications
pretty
up through
white
here.
on his highlights, so we'll do the same. Sunlight's coming in
Now
over
comes
here.
the fun. Now we can begin putting all the beautiful leaves and stuff on this and just really make it come alive. So here we'll take a little bit of the magic white to thinner paint. One of the golden rules in this is that a thin paint will stick to a
I
thick
can make up a little time while Bob thins his
So
paint.
anytime you're painting over the top of paint, you need to have a paint that's just a little bit thinner.
A bit bigger here.
Alrighty, we'll take a little bit of
And he was right to have
phthalo green and a
the
little
right
bit of yellow.
sun on each side here.
And we load the brush full of paint.
We get to do the leaves
Our light's
now.
coming through here, so we want this side of the tree to be a little brighter
So
than
we're
the
going to go
other
back
side.
to our,
Alright. And then we begin
there's
pushing
our old oil
thousands of little
brush.
leaves on here. Just
Get some beautiful
Hiding
yellow
your brush.
going.
there they
And
come.
here we go. Here come the leaves. Whew.
Just a little.
He's
over
right,
this
it
side
is
over here,
beautiful.
'cause not as much light's going to strike.
Look at that.
Little's going to come through, but
Just
not as much.
a little bit lighter maybe, so I can do some lighter ones on this side.
And look at that. In just a matter of a few minutes, we have a beautiful tree.
Oh, this is a beautiful tree, Bob.
Okay. Now maybe this little tree over here. We'll put a little highlight on him.
Make that a little lighter. How's
And once
that,
again,
Bob?
we're using a paint that's a little bit thinner so that it sticks.
Now, this is cool. I can always do another layer. We'll talk about layers sometime. I could
First
add
thing that
another
you have
layer,
to do
but
when you're
we'll
doing
do
this
it
is
all in
start
one
with
layer
oil
today
paint.
with Bob.
Very,
So
very firm. Your base paint has to be extremely firm. If you start with a thin, loose paint, you're going to
this
become
is
a
still
mud
picking
mixer.
up the paint below it digitally.
You have to have a thick paint on the base coat in order to get this thinner paint to stick.
Okay.
Now let's begin building some little bushes and stuff in
I'm
here.
going to go a little smaller. I'm going to do some little baby
Alright,
bushes.
look at
I'm going to
that.
add a little touch of
You can
orange
do
to
it.
mine. Ooh.
I know you can. There. Look at there.
Look at those bushes. I just thought his got a little
Okay,
too
let's
yellow at
move
the
up
end, but
To this
it's his
big
first
tree in
show.
the front here.
Did great.
And let's put
Go
some
back
nice
to the
little leaves up
yellow.
here on him. You have to bend that brush. If the brush doesn't bend,
I want to go big
you're not
again.
gonna get all these beautiful
See how we
little
change our
leaves
brush
and
size,
actions that happen.
but we don't change anything. Oh, I have to get you a little smaller. There we go. Adding in all the highlights.
Maybe there's a nice little bush that lives right here. You know, if you've ever walked through the woods
As
early
he
in the
always
morning,
said, you know, you
all
need
the little
the
creatures
dark to
are
show
out
the
here. They're all
light. So
playing in the bushes and stuff.
this is the old
This is where
tree
they
here.
live. In all these
I've got
bushes.
the little bushes below it.
Okay, let's put something on this side now.
We have different
Nice
layers
little
here.
bush
So we have different layers to the bushes.
Just let your imagination run wild.
Kind of interesting talking over
Let your
Bob.
heart be your guide.
I love that. Let your heart be your guide.
And the time you sit around worrying about it and trying to plan a painting, you could have completed a painting already. Let it happen.
Exactly.
Let it happen.
All right. How are we doing?
You know, for so many years, I was a traditional painter.
You know what? Did I get a little more
And I would
of our
spend
color down
sometimes
here?
weeks just working on a picture, drawing it out, getting all the little sketches and stuff. And then I'd go back and spend maybe
It
a
seems
month
to have a
trying to
little
fill
more
in the blocks.
purple down here.
And here, we let it happen. It comes right out of here. It's in you. And you put it on the canvas.
Amen.
Okay.
Preach it, Bob. Preach it.
Let's see. Let's try this big old tree here. Put some nice little leaves on him.
Almost done adding in that. A few more highlights.
There we go.
Any color we want, which can be kind of confusing. I may put together some templates so that you don't have too many options on color.
Yeah.
And overwhelming, let's put it that way. We want to be overwhelmed by color.
Okay,
I
let's
like changing
try
these colors a
to
little
add
bit. I
little
know
part of
Bob
that
didn't
red
do it as much,
to
but
my color now, just to give us a little different value.
oh, there he goes. He's talking about a little bit more red.
Okay. Now, you know, if we're going to walk through the woods, we need a little path. So let's take a little bit of Van Dyke brown here.
Awesome. I'm gonna move this a little bit. You
And
can
let's
still
build
see
us a
it,
happy
hopefully.
little path. We just going to take the
path
knife.
is going to be interesting, so we need to get our
right down through here.
Loaded palette knife. Get some nice dark.
There we go.
And we're going to bring the path in the same place that Bob has it. I don't have to scoop up the paint. It just keeps reloading automatically, which is awesome.
Okay.
It has that palette knife kind of feel to it.
Path. Now we need to highlight that path, so I'll take just a little bit of white, and we'll just take and barely touch the canvas here, just enough so we can highlight where the sun's sparkling through here.
Now the path is interesting because I like to use something called a stucco roller to highlight.
See how easy that is? Let that paint
This one
break.
will go pretty small. Just bring it across, and it has a beautiful break
to
to
set
it.
the path down into the painting, we'll add some bushes that project up over the path here and there.
Beautiful path.
Just push them in.
Just want to be there right now, Bob.
There we go. And you can see how that makes it just literally drop right into the painting.
Back to our old oil. We'll send our path back like Bob is. Make it drop down into the painting.
Okay, let's put some more land areas in here. Maybe there's some nice little areas coming down through here.
Awesome, we get to go big knife. Woohoo, big knife.
Just like so.
Not even stressed. This
Maybe
is
we'll have some
fun.
over here.
Ooh, look at how that
Follow the
knife is.
angle
It's
of your
so
land.
beautiful. This is digital doing this.
There we go.
So nice.
There
Can
we
you
go.
see that? See how that's breaking? Trying to follow the lay of the land like Bob. He's bringing it down this way.
And maybe, as we're walking through the woods here, maybe it rained last night. Maybe it came a
Get
nice
all my
little rain.
texts. We'll have to
Those
work
little
on that.
puddles. After it rains, you always have little rain puddles.
Alright, so he's going to
So
bring
let's
in the
take a little
puddles
touch
now,
of the Prussian
which
blue here. It will just make us a little
kind of
puddle.
crazy. Did he put the highlights in already?
And
Ooh, we
put
got
some Prussian
highlights.
blue on the
Need my
brush.
stucco
And we
roller.
take here and pull downward. Just pull downward, like so.
We'll get to that, Bob. I'm a little behind. A little stucco
There we go.
roller. Just a little lighter up here. It's not quite as white. Just nice highlights.
Okay. See how easy it is to do? Now, very gently, we'll come across this way, just to give it a watery effect. Now, if you want to put highlights in here, maybe you could take just a little touch
Alright, let's see
of
if we
the
can get this
titanium
now. I'm
white
going to go
on your brush
streaky oil.
and pull down.
And this is
It'll
a
give you sort of a
challenge
sheen.
to do some of this brush work, I have to admit. We're going to come on down now.
There. And then, once again, just come across just enough to give it a nice watery feel. You can overdo this part very easily. Okay. Wash off the old brush.
Somewhat streaky. We'll see what we can do with a little bit of lighter too.
Okay, now we can take
I want to use the
more of the
streaky
Van Dyke
brush. Ah! He's getting ahead of me a little
and
bit.
we can just make little puddles out of
He's
this.
good.
Maybe it comes down like so.
But this is working
there.
pretty well though.
There
Get
we
it
are.
ready.
Okay.
We'll do his little highlight that he had too.
Little puddle. And we'll just
Just a couple
make
little
this little
streaks.
separate puddle back here. Just like that. Okay, then we'll take a little bit of brown and white.
Okay.
And
What are you
we'll
up to?
lay a little
Oh, you're
highlight
bringing
over
down
there.
some more.
There we go.
Need more palette knife again. Palette knife. More rock. We got this, Bob.
And in your world, you can do anything that your heart desires.
Kind of talked about more like a puddle here, so. Bring our land
My
over.
home is in Fairbanks, Alaska, and I spend a lot of time walking around in the woods and talking to trees,
To cut this
squirrels
out a
and little
bit.
rabbits and stuff. And I look at a lot of nature. And if painting teaches you nothing else, it'll teach you to look at nature with different eyes. It'll teach you to see things that have been there all your life.
Yay, I get to
you've
catch
never
up because
noticed.
he's talking.
And
Need a
if
little
it
bit
does
bigger.
nothing else but make you
Doing our
enjoy
palette knife
nature,
to give us
it's
a nice
worthwhile.
little short edge.
So, look around. Look at what we have. Beauty is everywhere. You only have
It's
to look
God's
to see it.
creation, really. He's talking about. That's awesome.
I talk too much sometimes, so we'll go back to painting
No,
here.
you talk great.
Take a little bit of the thin white paint here, and we'll put some little water lines back in here. Okay, just like so.
Blend those out a little bit too.
There we go.
Not too much.
There.
Kind of making my own thing here
And
a little
maybe
bit
some
now.
water lines right here.
We need some highlight on this
This is
this
just the thin
baby
white
though.
paint. And you literally just
There, you
cut
kind of
right
got
into
ahead
the
there a little
canvas
bit.
with it.
Feeling good about that.
And let's smooth that
So let's
out.
try the stucco roller.
There we go.
Come back in with our highlight color. Nice and big. We'll come over the top.
Okay. Now, while I have the knife here,
Just takes a
we're going to
little
take
break
and
to
just
it.
cut a few little sticks here and there. And all we're doing is just literally cutting right through the paint.
Now we can do
So
the
the
same.
canvas shows
We
through.
have a
It makes
different kind of palette knife. He's talking about
multitude of
cutting
little
through and
sticks.
making those little nubby things.
And these little
See if we
sticks
do the
help
same.
create the illusion of distance in a
A
painting.
little bit smaller.
All different planes.
See how our little sticks are coming up? So it's a little
Okay.
bit different of a palette knife that
Now then, let's
pulls a
put
little
some,
bit more.
let's put some bushes and stuff
Especially
right down
when
here
there's
on the
little
grass,
brown areas like that.
swell area. There we go.
I think some of these trees should have them too, Bob.
There they are.
Oh, okay. We got some more bushes over there.
They just live right
So
here.
we'll
in
go
your
back
brush.
to our old
You
oil
just drop 'em
brush.
right
Nice color. And we'll put in big bushes here.
Okay. Now, let's take and do this. Let's put some land right down through here.
Yeah, I kind of jumped
to the
ahead.
Van Dyke
I
brown.
got the land in there
A little
already.
bit of white.
Let's do a little bit more though.
There we go. Lay a little highlight on here.
Ah, too small.
There.
Oh, it's kind of taking some of the yellow too, which is awesome.
And we'll put a few little bushes and stuff right out here. See how easy that is?
I love working with this palette knife. It's so
A few more
cool.
little water lines in there.
Alright, let's get the bushes going.
Just let them happen.
Oh, it likes the water lines. I want to get my bushes going though.
Each week
Old
we'll try to do
oil.
paintings that are designed to teach you something different, something new, something exciting,
And we'll put our big bushes on here.
just to keep your interest going. Okay,
Make
now,
those a little more orange.
let's play a little bit here. Let's have a happy little tree right in here.
I
So we'll
agree,
start
Bob.
with the Van Dyke brown, and we'll make his little trunk here.
Alright, he's using the
There he
palette
goes.
knife again, and we will too. Though again, I think personally I would use the
Straight Van
just a
Dyke brown
liner
to start
or
with.
something. But it's fun.
There, we'll just turn the knife and give him little foots to stand on. There. And maybe he needs another little arm out here, so we'll just give him one. This is your creation. You can do anything here that you want to do.
Palette knife is interesting though for the bark. Kind of has a cool bark
Just let
look
it
to it
happen.
too.
There. Now. And we'll give him some little leaves. And we'll use some more of the alizarin crimson. Touch of Prussian blue.
Do we get the highlights on?
We need
No
dark in
highlights?
order to show light. So first we'll put some dark on here. We'll put some happy little leaves here and there.
Alright, we need dark first, Bob. You're right. We go old oil.
When we see you next week, I hope you have your almighty easel set up.
It's got a
the
really
colors
dark
ready.
going.
Your big
So
brush is
let's
all primed and ready
crank
to
up
go
our opacity.
and do an almighty painting with us here.
Let's make some tree branches here.
Very quickly, while I'm finishing this up, I'll go over the colors one more
It's
time.
getting to the end, so we're getting there.
Titanium white,
Oh, now he's adding in the highlights.
phthalo green,
Which is
Prussian
fine.
blue,
Put a little bit of that down
Van
there
Dyke
too.
brown, alizarin
Go
crimson,
back to our knife,
sap green,
which is hard to find for
cad
some
yellow,
reason.
and permanent red.
Make that really small.
Only 8 colors that you need. Okay,
Too
now
much.
let's put some highlights on this pretty little tree right here. I use just a little touch more of the permanent red in this one, so he'll stand out a little more. See how
like that
easy it is
color,
to
though.
create a tree right here in your world?
Oh, I want to play with this. There's so much to do here.
There we go.
Alright, the light and the highlights. He's going more red, and I will too.
And maybe
Get something cool going
down
here.
here. Maybe there's some nice little bushes and
The
stuff
old oil.
happening right in here.
I'll add in the highlights. Look at that. So pretty.
All right. Maybe right there, another one.
Bob, this has been a joy. It really has been. To paint
Here
along
and there,
with
I'm
you.
going to put just a few little sticks and stuff.
Get some yellow in there too.
Like that. Just once again to build some distance in here.
I'm gonna add some
Want
sticks
this to
here.
have a lot of depth in it. And we'll cut in a few little sticks here and there, like so.
Might have lost it here. Let's see what happens.
You getting excited yet?
Yes, I am excited. This is awesome.
You can do it.
Thank you. This is fun. I have more work to do here. I know that. So
And I think
everything went away.
this painting's far enough along, we'll just
Let's bring it back.
sign this rascal. And I sign the painting
You can
with
see
a
all the other ones
swift
I've been
line
doing.
brush, a little bit of oil.
All right, there we go.
I use red paint, but whatever
Awesome.
color you prefer.
All right, I'm going to sign this rascal too.
And we'll
Nice
just
and bright. I love it
sign
bright.
that
And we're
rascal.
going to use a pencil actually. I like
I hope
this
you've
6B
enjoyed this
pencil.
painting.
I'm going to sign it
Next
nice
week
and
we're
big.
looking forward to seeing you. We hope you have your brush ready, a dream in your heart. that
I
you
think we
want to
did
put
it.
on Canvas. And join us right here.
Ah,
for the joy
it's been a
of
lot
painting.
of fun, Bob. Thank you.
too can
You
build
are
fantastic
right here.
pictures.
Always
You can
with me.
take them from here and put them on there. Until next week, happy painting from all of us here.
I love it. He always ended it, his last shows, with God bless my friends. So I will say to you, I think we have a finished piece. Though I'll probably work on it for another half an hour. But oh, thank you, Christina. I see you're watching. Love it, love it. Appreciate all that tuned in today and that will tune in later. And look for some links in the description for my YouTube channel, all of my art adventures. We've been in Nova Scotia, Canada, New Brunswick, heading up to a couple other places in the south. Going to be painting a manatee coming up. Everybody loves manatees. So my sign off always is peace and joy, my friends. So